Good afternoon, Florida Softball Network fans, and welcome to an unscheduled game that we were able to throw in here. It's actually game 3 of seeding. We did not get games 1 and 2, but we are here for game 3 between the Gators, who are going to be your home team, and the VSA Lions from Boynton Beach, Florida. We're coming to you from Okehili Park, located near West Palm Beach, Florida. So far, the Gators have gone 2-0 in seeding play. So a quality day so far, looking to go 3-0. Currently sitting in the first place position with seeding, but a lot of games still to be played by a lot of teams. And it looks like we're about ready to start here with the first batter for VSA, number 23, about to step into the box. And the first pitch in there for strike 1. Working in the circle for the Gators is Avelo Fitzgerald. Behind the plate, we have Peyton Williamson. And the second pitch is the second strike. All right, so no balls, 2 strikes here. And the third pitch is strike 3. So 3 pitches in the game, all 3 strikes, and the first batter for the VSA Lions heads back to the dugout. And the next batter, number 55, heads to the plate with 1 out. So Delgardio now coming up to bat. And that's a bunt, but she made contact outside the box. That should be an out. Oh no, I guess she was still in the box. So kicked it in the box. So 1 strike. Trying to catch the Gators on their heels there with that bunt. So Delgardio steps back in on an 0-1 count. And she shows bunt, tries to pull back, but makes contact on that ball. And for the second batter in the row, Avelo is up 0-2 on the batter. And the 0-2 pitch misses outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. And it goes high to bring the count even at 2-2. And that one gets past the diving second baseman there. And makes out into right field. And the VSA Lions have their first base runner on the diamond. So Delgardio gets on and brings up down number 9, Chung. There's a swing miss for strike 1. Excuse me, get the shots set up here. Some close-up shots. Get back here for the next pitch. And that's in there for a strike. Next pitch, swing on and miss. Yep. She did go. And that's strike 3. And they have 2 down now. So 2 outs here, lines with the runner at first base. Brings up to number 5, Walzak, now up to bat. And runner goes, no pitch, an illegal, left early. So runner left early. And the Gators record their 3rd out. And we finish the top of the 1st inning. So now the Gators about to have their first at bats here on the Florida Softball Network. So leading off here for the Gators, number 10, Avalo Fitzgerald. And the next pitch in there for a strike brings the count even at 1-1. And a little early on the swing there. Brings the count now to 1 ball, 2 strikes. And she watches that one miss high to bring the count even at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes here on the leadoff batter for the Gators. And that misses outside to bring the count now full. All right, here comes the 3-2. And that is hit high into the air, over into right field. The right fielder under it, makes the catch. And VSA records the first out here of the bottom of the 1st inning.
Batting, number 6, Cameron.
All right, brings up to bat now Cameron Solano, the left fielder for the Gators. She takes the first pitch over to the right side of the infield. Second baseman runs over, makes a good play. And 2 up, 2 down.
Number 3, Fati.
Brings up to the plate Fatima Masri, number 3. And Fati watches the first one miss low for ball 1. And this is for ball 2. And the 2-0 gets hit over to the shortstop, who throws over to first base and retires Fati. And they record the 3rd out. So both teams able to get out of the 1st inning without letting any runs scored. We move into the top of the 2nd with a score of 0-0 here on the Florida Softball Network. It's the top of the 2nd inning, score 0-0. And the first pitch in there for a strike. Watch the next delivery from Avilo. And that is going to be a popped high, but out of play. And onto one of the neighboring fields. And Avilo up on the batter by a count of 0-2. The 0-2, just outside. Brings the count now to 1-2. All right, the 1-2 is fouled to the backstop, and we stay there at 0-2. So Walsack back at bat as the runner and the third out when the lines were last at bat was called out for leaving the base early, so that started with a new count. Here we are, 0-2. And that's going to get foul over towards third base. And once again, 0-2 count. And that one's going to get hit into center field. Nice base hit there by Walsack. And the Lions get their leadoff batter onto the bases. And pitch in there for strike one.
That's a good spot.
So this is Farah at bat and watches for strike two. So the fourth batter of this outing, where Avilo's been up on an 0-2 count on the batter. See what you can do here. And there's a swinging strike three. And the Gators record their first out as Farrow goes down swinging. So as Farrow departs, we are going to welcome to the plate number 45, Sophia Russo. Russo takes the first pitch for strike one. And that pitch is going to go towards foul territory by first base. And the count now 0-2 once again. So a lot of 0-2 counts. Avilo humming from the circle. So far on 22 pitches. And pitch 23 is a strike three. And after the leadoff base hit, the next two batters retired by Fitzgerald. And it just misses inside for ball one. Stay on this wide shot so you can see first base. And the count goes to 0-2. I'm sorry, 2-0. 2-0. Too many 0-2 counts before. Got me stuck. So 2 balls, no strikes here. Correction. With 2 outs, the pitch misses and goes to 3 balls, no strikes. So Fox, the batter, on a 3-0 count. And that one's in there for a strike. It's always amazing how pitchers could dial back. They get on a 3-0 count and they find that perfect strike right down that river. So the count now 3-1 on Fox. And that grabs the top part of the strike zone, and the count goes full at 3-2. So a nice battle back there by Avalo, who's down on the count. 3 balls, no strikes now, brings the batter's count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runner at first should be running on the pitch. And there is a little chopper over to second base. Well handled there by Kinsley. And the Gators record the 3rd out. So despite the VSA Lions able to get their leadoff runner, the Gators take care of business, and we now move into the bottom of the 2nd inning, and the game remains scoreless here on the Florida Softball Network. Well, it's the bottom of the 2nd, and leading off for the Gators is going to be number 1, Kira Sherman. Score 0-0 here. And the first pitch is hit high into the air over towards the first baseman, who's under it to record the 1st out. So on 1 pitch, here at the bottom of the 2nd, the VSA Lions is able to record the 1st out. All right, well, brings up to bat now number 12, Addison Held. And the next pitch is hit high into the air. And again, the first baseman able to catch it over in foul territory. And on 2 pitches, there's 2 outs. So far, a real easy half inning for the pitcher, Chung, working the circle for the Lions. Brings up to bat now number 31, Kinsley Roman. You saw Kinsley record that 3rd out there at the top of the inning over at second base. And now her, after a great defensive play, an opportunity to make an offensive play here from the batter's box as she steps in on a 1 ball, no strike count. And that ball just a little low. Brings the count to 2 balls, no strikes. All right, the 2-0 delivery is high for 3-0. With 3 balls, no strikes. And there's that strike. So like I said earlier, it's funny how the pitchers just get dialed in when they're behind on the 3-0 count, manage to record that strike. And that one is in there for strike 2, and now that brings the count full to 3-2. So a nice battle back there by Chung for the Lions. And there's a ball 4. Coach for the Gators not happy there by the leisurely jog over to first base. I think he was looking for an opportunity to potentially let that pass ball allow the Gators to get a runner into scoring position, but did not happen there. So let's see if she can get hit in there as the first pitch delivered to number 11, Reese Kennerson, is in there for strike 1. So the Gators now with a runner on first base with 2 outs. And that ball is going to get hit high into the air Oh, and a nice running grab there by the second baseman. And a great catch there made to record the third out. So we finished 2 innings here, and neither team able to get any runs across. We move into the top of the third inning with the score 0-0 on the Florida Softball Network. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, we invite you to do so. If you haven't liked any of the videos, maybe this is the one you're enjoying. It might be time to give it a thumbs up. And we thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to reset the scoreboard, reset the runners on the field, and we'll be right back to you in just a few moments. It's the top of the third inning. Score 0-0 here between the Gators and the Lions.
265.
Ava Fitzgerald working the circle. And the first attempted slap misses for strike 1.
143.
And the changeup misses way high for 1-1.
381. Great pitch.
And the 1-1 is going to be bunted, fielded by Fitzgerald, who guns it to first base, where Kira Sherman catches it to record the first out. So a nice attempted bunt there by Harkness, but the Gators able to field it cleanly and fire it out to first to record the first out here of the top of the third inning.
Expect it. 555.
Brings up to bat now number 21, Marquez, who watches the first one go high for ball 1. That next pitch in there for a strike brings the count even to 1-1. Defensively for your Gators in the infield at first base, you've got Kira Sherman. Over at second, Kinsley Roman. At short, Addison Held. At third, Kennedy Copeland. Little outfielders here in a moment. That one is fouled back to the screen. And it brings the count now to 1 ball, 2 strikes. In left field, Cameron Solano. In center field, Luca Hansberger. And in right field, Reese Kennerson. And the next pitch just misses. And we're at 2-2. In the 2-2. In there for strike 3. So Marquez goes down on strikes, and the Gators now with 2 outs, no one on the base paths, look to record the third out on Falkowitz, who is now up to bat. Falkowitz squares to bunt, makes contact outside the box, but they gun the throw over to first base anyway. And the Gators able to record the third out. So some strong defense by both teams, and our score remains 0-0 as we move into the bottom of the third inning here on the Florida Softball Network. It's the bottom of the third inning. Gators coming up to bat, score 0-0. First up for the Gators, Kennedy Copeland, who squares to bunt, but goes foul to the backstop.
I like the call. Gotta get that down.
Chung on 20 pitches. Here's the 21st. And once again, fouled back. And now Kennedy behind in the count, 0-2. Waiting on deck, Peyton Williamson. And Kennedy swings and misses and goes down on 3 pitches, and the Lions record the first out of the
Now
bottom of the
batting,
3rd inning.
Number 22, Peyton.
Well, here comes Peyton Williamson up to bat. She is the catcher for this game. And watches the first pitch for strike 1. And that misses way high for a ball. Brings the count even now at 1-1. And the 1-1 is hit foul. Foul territory over by right field. And the count now 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Peyton gonna have to protect here. Find a pitch that she likes and drive it. That one gets fouled. Good job protecting there. And the count remains 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. And that goes high for 2-2. And watches that one grab the outside corner of the plate to record strike 3. So Chung able to record the first 2
Now
batters
batting,
here
Number 16, Luca.
and put them down on strikes. Now brings up to bat number 16, Luca Hansberger. And Luca with a good eye there watches ball 1 high. And swing foul there. And the count goes to 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Misses there for 2-1. Two-1 high outside, and now batter's count of 3-1. Three-1 is hit and gets in the gap between short and third base, and she is going to look to 2, but held up at first.
Now
And for the
batting,
second inning in a
number
row,
10,
the
Avery.
Gators get a base runner on with 2 outs. And move now to the top of the lineup with Avalo Fitzgerald coming up to bat. Avalo's 0 for 1 today, made good contact at the very beginning of the game, but caught by the right fielder. Watches that one go high. And she steps back in with a 1 ball, no strike count. That's gonna miss high, it's gonna get past the catcher. And a lot of station to station running, just getting to the bag and not turning it, as we keep hearing Coach Travis say, run faster, turn it. So, I'm not sure. Oh, looks like
Now
Not
batting.
sure what just
Number
happened.
6.
Oh, I guess she was hit by pitch. No? Not sure exactly what happened there. I heard something about high school. That's high school, so I guess some sort of infraction, but doesn't count. We're under USSSA rules, which must be different on whatever happened there. That one misses outside. And catcher trying to keep the runner there honest. There's Luca over at second base, looking an opportunity to get just 60 feet away from home plate if she can. And that one's gonna go outside. She is gonna run, and she's going to slide under the tag. And Avalo now over at first base on the walk.
Now batting. Number 6.
So runners now on the corners. They have to reset the bag over there at third. Got knocked out on the slide by Luca. So like I said, runners at the corners now with 2 outs. Let's fix that diagram on your screen. There we go. And now up to bat. We have Cameron Solano, who watches the first pitch outside. So Avalo runs over to second, and the catcher trying to catch the runner at third off guard, guns down to third, but nothing happens there. Now the Gators with 2 runners in scoring position and 2 outs. And that ball gets hit high into the air, but out of play. And Cameron steps in with a 1-1 count. Oh, looks like a ball on the field, over there in left field. Get that thrown off there. There we go. And we're back in action. Okay, back in action here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. And that pitch called strike 2.
Hey, no one let her stick. Don't let her quick pitch it.
You got this, Cam.
And that sails high outside.
Hey, way to work. Let's win it right here.
And we're at 2-2. Two ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And that's going to miss low outside and bring the count full at 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. And that misses high outside. Ed Cameron takes first base on the walk.
Hey, she's got to present. She's got to present. Real quick.
All right, so a quick timeout here.
Can't just go right to the motion.
As bases are now loaded with 2 outs for the Gators. Trying to break this 0-0 tie game. And looking to do that is going to be Fatima Masri, number 3. So your base runners right now, you've got over at first base Cameron on that walk. Over at second, Avalo Fitzgerald and Luca Hansberger over at third base. So those are your Gators on the base paths, with Fati here with an opportunity to grab some RBIs and let the Gators take a lead if she can here. In the circle is Chung. 44 pitches so far on
Now
this outing.
batting. Number 3. Fatih.
And she takes the first one and bounces it over to second base, who fields it. And despite the Gators able to get all bases with runners, the Lions able to do their work and record the third out without any damage. So we've completed 3 innings here, and the score remains VSA Lions 0, Lady Gators Jackson 0 here on the Florida Softball Network. It's the top of the 4th inning with a scoreless game here between the VSA Lions and the Lady Gators Jackson 13U squads. And the first pitch in there is missing outside for ball one. Batting now for the Lions is number 10, Torres. In the circle still, Avilo Fitzgerald. No changes defensively for the Gators. And that pitch goes in there for a strike. So looking strike there brings the count even at 1-1. And that one's gonna miss for a ball. Just a bit outside, as Bob Euchre would say. And the count now 2-1. And Torres goes there, misses, and the count now comes even at 2-2. And just outside brings the count full now. All right, 3 balls, 2 strikes here on the batter Torres. Fitzgerald on 41 pitches so far, and pitch 42 coming your way right here. And that's in there for, oh, I guess inside. All right, inside. So just barely misses. And Torres is on with a walk.
Coming out.
And the batter now, number 23, Spittlegary. First pitch there, fouled over towards third base, and the count is now 0-1. Standing at first base, Torres. The changeup misses, but on that changeup, Torres able to get over to second base. So now the Lions with a runner in scoring position and no outs, looking for an opportunity to break this tie. And the VSA third base coach calls his batter over for a couple of words. And Spittlegary comes back in. Gators looking to take away the slap by playing it close on third base. That is in there for strike 3. Looked a little bit low, but I'm sure that Avilo there in the circle will take that and happily record the strikeout. All right, now up to bat Delgardio for the Lions, who squares to bunt, but then pulls back and takes ball 1. So a huge gap between short and second base. The left fielder playing almost right behind the shortstop, who's shifted over towards third. So if you can get the ball in there, that's going to be a 2-run homer, but she's looking to just bunt. So they're playing a bunt defense here for the Gators. As Addie's staying close to third to be able to cover that base when Kennedy crashes. But it does open up an opportunity. And that's in there for a strike. All right, Avalo now goes up on the batter by a count of 1-2. Presents that ball outside. And the count 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, one out. Pitch misses high, and we come full to 3-2. And the 3-2 pitch is hit high into the air over in center field. Center fielder under it. And the Gators record the second out, and most importantly, are able to keep the Lions from advancing their runner any further from second base. So it brings up to bat now the pitcher on record here for the Lions, Chung. And Chung hits the first pitch and running for it, unable to get to it, the right fielder in foul territory, and the ball drops harmlessly. I'll tell you, it is a hot one here in South Florida today. There's actually a heat advisory warning, because not only do you have the heat, the humidity is up, and it's just stifling out there on the clay. And there's a great pitch. And Chung finds herself down in the count 0-2. All right, so Avalo looking to record another strikeout here and get her team in the dugout into some shade. And let's see what she has to deliver here. And Chung makes contact and fouls it back, and we stay at 0-2. All right, here we are again, 0-2. And Chung swings again, fouling it back, and we stay 0-2. Battle at the plate here between two pitchers, Avalo Fitzgerald in the circle, and the VSA Lions pitcher Chung at bat. Torres on second base is the base runner for the Lions. And that one is hit high into the air, but out of play. And once again, we are at 0-2. No balls, two strikes. And the fastball is swung at, foul towards third base. And guess what the count is? That's right, 0-2. And the 0-2 misses there for 1-2. One ball, two strikes, two outs. And that one is hit high into the air. Center fielder calling it, under it, and makes the catch there. So good job there by Luca Hansberger holding down center field. And the Lions strand one runner at second base. And the game remains, again, scoreless at 0-0 as we move into the bottom of the fourth inning here on the Florida Softball Network. All right, to the bottom of the fourth inning we go here in this scoreless game between the Lions and the Gators. Between innings, I was speaking to the home plate umpire to get more details on what happened. If you'll recall earlier when Avila was up to bat, she was awarded first and then had to come back. So apparently what the Lions wanted to do was afford her an intentional walk to get the force play. That misses high for a ball. And in high school, you can just tell the umpire, hey, you want to give the batter the base. But here with USSSA rules, you must still pitch to the batter. So that's what happened in that inning. And that is what eventually happened. Second pitch there misses high for ball 2. So a little explanation there. Mystery solved. And Kira Sherman here on a 2-ball, no strike count. And goes to 3-0. The 3-0. Right down the river. Strike 1. I'll tell you, you might want to consider on the 3-0 pitch instead of taking it. Might be worth it. It seems like the best pitch we've seen is always on that 3-1 pitch. 3-0 pitch to grab the 3-1 count. All right, well, with that foul ball, Kira's going to go full here, 3-2. And here we come. The payoff pitch is blasted over there past the shortstop into left field. Kira's going to round first, put on the brakes, and hold up there with a nice single out into the left field. And brings up to bat now Addie Held.
Now batting, number 12, Addison.
Something they know. They know, they know, they know. They know, they know, they know.
4-1-1, let's go.
All right, so here comes Addie up to bat. No outs, runner at first. And on the first pitch, she swings, gets that past the third baseman. And if Kira had been going full steam around second, she probably could have made it to third. But no problem. Hey, no harm, no foul, no outs, most importantly. And now Gators with runners at
Now
first and
batting,
second,
number
and
31,
Kinsley Roman
Kinsley.
coming up to bat. And Kinsley is going to, gonna bunt it. They tried to get the lead runner at third, they miss. The throw goes bad. Kinsley winds up over at second base. And most importantly, she grabs the RBI as Kira Sherman is able to come home, and we break the tie as the Gators bring one across to bring the score to 0-1.
Now batting, number 11, Reese.
All right, so busy catching up here on the graphics.
4-1-2.
And now with no outs, runners at second and third. Let's update that. And Reese Kennerson is at bat. And she watches that one low for a ball. The 1-1 is blasted. That's a fair ball. That's a fair ball. That's going to get deep into it. Could potentially be an inside the field home run. She's being sent home. She's being sent home, but they're going to get her. they record the out, but not before Reese is able to bring 2 runs in. And the Gators take a lead, 3-0. So a good job there by the Lions to get the ball in. A nice blast there by Reese.
Now batting.
And
number
despite getting
99,
out at
Kennedy.
home, he's able to knock in 2. And now clears the bases. And the Gators up 3-0 on the Lions. And that one's getting high into the air. The shortstop under it and is able to record the second out.
Now batting. Number 22, Peyton.
All right, Peyton Williamson now, the catcher, coming up to bat. And she takes the first pitch and hits it to the first baseman, and we start a new inning. It's the top of the 5th inning, and the VSA Lions are about to bring up their 4, 5, and 6 batters in their lineup, down by 3 runs. And here's the first pitch in there for, well, I don't know. It looks good, but I guess called the ball there. I did not see that strike call. So 1 ball, no strikes here. And that one, though, is most definitely a strike. Brings the count even now to 1-1. That one, little check swing, is going to go into foul territory, but out of play. And the count now goes in the pitcher's favor, 1-2. So Walzak here is your batter. Avelo Fitzgerald working the circle on 63 pitches. And here comes pitch 64. Just misses outside. And we're at 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 delivery. And that is batted right over to third base, who grabs it, fires across the diamond. And a nice play there by Kennedy Copeland, holding down third base, throws and retires Walzak. All right, so here comes the number 5 batter in the lineup, Farah. Farah's 0 for 1 today. And she steps in to look for her first pitch from Avelo Fitzgerald. And it's a swing foul to the screen for 0-1. Catcher and pitcher look pretty dialed in together on the same page. A little high five there, hyping each other up, working through this heat. And here comes the 0-1. That's in there for strike 2. So Farah now steps in. No balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. And that one gets shot past the first baseman to right field. Fails it, throws. Oh, but the fast wheels of Farah able to outrun. So a nice attempted play there by Reese out in right field as he was able to get past Kira. And Farah now able to reach with that single. So 1 out, runner at first base. Coach Travis comes out real quick to talk to his Gators. Maybe a little defensive strategy. Okay, here's who's going to cover second base on the steal. Here's what to look out for. Any intel they might have on the next batter, whether she hits more predominantly towards the left or right side of the field. All that discussed in the circle. As coming to bat here is Russo. So the first pitch to Russo is? Yeah, it should be, oh. All right, well, field umpire said she did not go. From our perspective, sitting here, it looked like she went, but what's important is whatever the umpires say, obviously. So 1 ball, no strikes here on that almost check swing. Yeah, but that is a swing and a nice stolen base there by Farah, who definitely has some wheels, outran the play out in right field and is able to move herself on over into scoring position for the Lions. Again, with just 1 out. So Russo now steps in on a 1-1. And that pitch is right in there. Straight down the river. And the count goes to 1-2. The 1-2 pitch from Avalo. Just outside for 2-2. Here comes the 2-2. And it's fouled towards third base. And we stay at 2-2. So we're here at the top of the 5th inning. Gators up 3-0. Russo at the plate. Runner at second base. And the count even at 2-2. And that just misses high outside. And we go full. Fitzgerald on 73 pitches, pitch 74 coming here. And right there for a ball. So now the Lions bring the tying run up to the plate. One out. Runners here at first and second. Gators could look to turn 2. And they first pitch in there for strike 1. The batter here at the plate, number 12, Fox. She hits that one, but foul towards right field. And the count goes 0-2. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. And that's in there for looking strike 3. All right, Gators able to record the second out there on a looking strike 3 for Fox as she goes 0 for 2 so far in this game. And now up to bat is Harkness, number 1. Harkness looking to slap here, watches the first pitch for ball 1. The runners for the Lions is Farah over at second and Russo over at first. And here comes the 1 ball, no strike pitch. And that's in there to bring the count to 1-1. All right, timeout called here by the VSA Lions coach over at third to have a quick word with Harkness. And here we are at 1-1 with 2 outs. Tying run at bat. And she bunts. Picked up, scooped up, gun to first base. So nice play there by Kennedy. That ball could have gone foul. She picked it up knowing that she had the play. Fires it over to first. And the Gators record the 3rd out. And the teams line up, and that's going to do it for this game, as the Gators Jackson 13U squad are able to knock off the VSA Lions 14U by a score of 3-0. So the Gators go 3-0 today in seeding play. A lot of games still left to be played, and we will move into single elimination bracket play tomorrow, and we will have all games here on the Florida Softball Network on YouTube. So thank you very much for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this game, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great day. This is Dave saying goodbye here from your softball clay on the Florida Softball Network.